All right, friends. Got a camera? Camera. All right, here we go. All right, friends. I'm going to wait for a couple of you to come on. We are live right now from Atlanta. We are here at the NCAA Women's Swimming Championships. Beth is about to do a press conference, so we're getting ready for that. We've had a really great time here today already. Everyone is just absolutely in support of us, of course. You know, it's a no-brainer. What we're doing is a no-brainer. Men are men. All men are physically men. We're standing up for women today. We are here in support of all the women swimmers. I should get my little Save Women's Sports and Adult Human Female tag in there. I got my fluffy mic on, so I hope you guys can hear me. It's kind of loud right now because women are shouting and chanting, and it's been really great. We've had a lot of parent support. We've had a lot of support from the girls. There's just almost no opposition here. We maybe had one person who is in opposition of us. We've gotten some great press coverage already. ESPN is here to cover Beth and her press conference. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thanks, Belfast. Thanks, Ellen. Thanks, Beatrix. Just to let you guys know who are tuning in, our press conference is going to start about 12:15. I started my live stream a little bit early because I just want to capture people. I'm going to be covering it. It's going to be right here. Beth is going to be speaking. We have Beth. Beth Stelzer of Save Women's Sports. We have Coach Linda Blade, who all of you know, who wrote the book Unsporting, all about this. Former Olympic athlete herself, Olympic coach. We also have today Mary Higgins, Olympic cyclist, medalist. She is here standing up for women and girls. We have Colin Wright here today, evolutionary biologist, who's going to speak to us as well. So we've got a lot of great people in our lineup. We have a lot of great people in support of women and girls. We have friggin' Kelly J. Keane all the way from the UK here supporting U.S. women. So that is very exciting as well. You know, we're all, the mood here is just so great. The mood here is just so enthusiastic. I just want to say, can you guys hear me okay? Okay, good. All right, this is a new mic. I used it yesterday. I charged it earlier. I just want to make sure it was working. I would take you down this line to look at all the women who are here standing up. There's a lot of women that you would recognize from Twitter, who you may know from Facebook. Women are here from all over. I flew here from Washington myself. I know people who are here from Denver, Michigan, all over. Women have come together. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you so much. It's such important work that we're doing here today, and I think that everyone who is here, everyone who has just been witnessing us, has just been in such support. Thank you, Erin, so much. I'm gonna put Erin's link so anyone who wants to watch can see that. Thanks, Erin, for putting that up there. I appreciate it. As I said, to those of you who are joining, Beth is doing a press conference soon, so she'll be up here speaking. I'm going to repeat, we have Linda Blade, who's going to be speaking. We have Mary Higgins, Olympic cyclist, who's going to be speaking. We have Kelly J. Keane here from the UK, a.k.a. Rosie Parker, who is going to be speaking. We have evolutionary biologist Colin Wright, who's going to be speaking with us today. Yeah, Beth is also going to be streaming this. It's also getting coverage from Swim World, ESPN, CBS Sports. There's a lot of coverage here, so you're going to see a lot of coverage of this. This is up. This is going live to my YouTube. It's going live to my Twitter. It's going live to my Facebook. It's going live to Beth's Facebook. It's going live to Beth's Twitter as well. Beth will be holding anyone who wants to tune in directly to the YouTube podcast that is going live on. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Someone just put up all the women. I'm going to put them up. Thanks, Jan. Yeah, that's a lot of people who are here today. So you can tune into Beth's YouTube channel to see this live from her channel. I'm going to be covering it here as well, just really to have all of our bases covered. So a lot of us are going to be covering it. So there's basically just a lot of places where you can watch this and tune in. It's so emotional, you know. It's so great to see people here supporting women. The mood here is so high. It's just, it's incredible. We have Senator Barbara Ehart with us today. It's just been really beautiful, and I thank you guys all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna look at these new comments. Yeah, men do not belong in women's sports. Thank you. Chicana Feminista, thank you. Gigi, thank you. Brindis, thank you. Oh, I did not know that. Okay, good to know. Good to know. All right, I'm gonna get rid of that. Yay, Beatrix, thank you so much for being there. Oh, got it. Okay, so it looks like Kelly J is also live streaming this inside. She's doing interviews from inside. How we've broken this out, so a lot of us are here in support of Save Women's Sport. Some of the women have been inside watching the event. Will, aka Laya, aka Liar Thomas, has just won his event. He's won the 500 women's event. So, you know, he just continues to steal spots from women. He continues to flaunt his madness to all of us. You know, he thinks he's getting away with something, but we're watching. You know, our eyes are on him. We are here. We're standing up. So, you know, this is us standing up. This is our public record. This is our public testimony that women do not agree with this. Women do not consent. We do not consent to men in our spaces in sports. We do not consent, and women deserve boundaries around our bodies. Thank you, Erin, for being here. Have a great meeting. More and more of you are tuning in, so I'm just going to repeat a little bit. The press conference is going to be going live at 12:15. Yeah, he's a thief. Yeah, he won again. He won again. Women need to be walking out. I hope these girls will walk out. That's what I would like to see. Yeah, absolutely, Lux. We are here to save women's sports. If you guys, for those of you out there, you can hashtag Save Women's Sports. You can hashtag Pen Sheets. I would appreciate you using those hashtags. I'd love to see those hashtags go viral today. If we could get that Pen Sheets go viral, that would be really incredible. The more eyes we get on this, the better. So if you're seeing this live stream, it's great if you can retweet it, repost it, put it on your other Facebook pages. I want to make sure that there's a bunch of us watching when Beth goes live on her YouTube. I just kind of want to start building that audience for her, but you can see all these women. There's Beth. You see Beth? You see Beth just there? Cars are honking for us to save women's sports. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. They love it. All right. So you can see the stories that this TRA is posting. Yeah. Thank you, Lux. Yeah. Thank you guys. Yeah, he is an abuser. You know, that's the other thing. You know, he's a cheater. He's cheating and he's stealing women's awards and scholarships, but he is absolutely also an abuser of women. You know, he's flashing his penis. These girls have tried to speak out about it. They've tried to tell their coaches. They have tried to tell their schools, and they're being silenced. Meanwhile, he gets the friggin' cover of Sports Illustrated magazine. No, thank you. Why is his story important? You know, what is he doing that's so great? He's a friggin' cheater, and his story is getting splashed as if he is some sort of stunning and brave human. No, no, no. Women say no. All right, you can see people are coming out of the event right now. Beth and all of her team are getting ready. I'm going to be covering this here. I just want you guys to kind of be able to see who's coming and going. I'm going to stand a little bit out of the way so you can see that. Yeah, I hope so. I do think women will appreciate it. Oh, there's also a group, I just want to say, there's also a group of, Beth's mom is here. That's so great. That's so amazing. That's so good. Thank you, Carolyn, for tuning in. This is going to go live on Beth's channel as well. You know, I'm sure Beth, I'm sure you're Beth's Shiro as well. I thank my own mom and my own sisters. I love being a woman. I love standing up for women. It's really important. I'm just showing you that I'm so emotional. I'm going to put my sunglasses back on because it's bright. But I wanted to just be with you in that emotion because it is a freaking emotional day. You know, this is emotional work that we're doing. You love it. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Yay. Oh, you guys, I know I'm trying to. Yeah, Beth is gonna as soon as Beth goes live. She's not going live yet. This is gonna be on her YouTube channel. So anyone who wants can go sign into her YouTube channel right now. I'm gonna keep streaming this as well, just so we can keep capturing people. But she'll have a mic. She has a mic just there. So anyone who wants to go to her YouTube channel, I think it should be up. She'll be ready to go live soon. I think that's true. Yeah. Oh, my mom is here. That's my mom. Oh, I love you too, Mom, so much. It's really exciting to be here. I'm taking care of myself. I am a little tired. We had to get up at 2:30 in the morning to fly here today. So we're all a little tired, but it is absolutely worth it to be here in support of women and girls. Yeah. Yeah, this is about Title IX. This is about protecting women. Oh, and my auntie is here too. That's my Aunt Lori. You guys. Oh my goodness. What a good day. What a good freaking day. Also, it's just gorgeous out here today. It's incredible. You know, it's just been a pleasure to see everyone here and to get so much support. I think you can see as people are walking down, they're getting a lot of support and a lot of encouragement. So it's really special to see. Aww. Hey, Liza. It's good to see you from Vermont as well. All right, I'm gonna try. Beth, your mom is here. Hey, Mom. All right, so Beth is getting ready. She's collecting her team together. Oh, Lisa, I wish you could be here too. I wish you all could be here. And you know, just to say I wish you all could be here. You know, this is something everyone can do. You know, this isn't rocket science. It's really just standing here and just showing our physical presence and showing our physical support. So. You know, anyone who wants to be more involved, I really encourage you to get more involved because there is such a good feeling of standing here with other women in solidarity. I love the writing that I do. I love the YouTubes that I do, but there is something so empowering and emotional and supportive about, standing here live with these other women, and being a part of that. And, I think that you can all already see, I'm having an emotional response. This is really, emotional. My dad's here too. Yeah, we need dads also. We need everyone to stand up. Okay, so rural Texas fired by a progressive organization after decades of defending female owners. Yeah. It's tired. It's really sad what's happening to politicians who are trying to stand up for that. And today, in a minute, we have Senator Barbara Ehart here with us. She will be speaking. Barbara Ehart has been really instrumental in standing up for women and girls. She's done a lot to a lot of the bills that Beth has worked on to be a part of. Barbara Ehart has helped author those bills, so during the live stream you'll get a chance to hear from her, and hopefully she'll talk a little bit about what it has been like to get those bills passed. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. There is other news sources here. I don't know about CNN. I do know that CBS is here. I do know that ESPN is here. There's a lot of news coverage here today. I mean, obviously, my little YouTube channel is not the only place that is covering this. There's a lot of places that are going to be covering this today. Yay. Thanks, Antoine Geist, from Philadelphia. What's great is that women are here from just all over the place, and it's just been wonderful to see everyone out here and being so strong and just continuing to speak on this. It's really exciting to see. In just a few minutes, we will start the live stream, and we'll be able to hear from everyone. Hey.
Hi. Hello, people. Now we're live on Instagram.
We're live and
live.
Do you want to say to your audience or also my audience, what was it like in there, and what was the mood? Leah Thomas just won the women's 500.
We did by like 5 seconds, I think it was.
Wow.
They cheered more for the girls. I think there was Brooke, who came first.
Good.
And as he was leaving, I did manage to look him in the eye and call him a cheat.
Yay! He is a cheat. He is a dirty cheat.
But I was talking to a woman who thinks she's a man. And she was like, "Go, Leah." And then I didn't realise at first because I couldn't see the face. I could just see the beard. And I said, "Oh yeah, typical man," or whatever. And she goes, "Oh, if you think Leah Thomas is a woman, if I'm a man, Leah Thomas is a woman." I said, "Oh, you're a woman then."
I get it.
And then she said, she was like, "Are you a biologist?" I was like, "Well, I'm not a vet, but I know what a dog is." Do you know what I mean? And then she said, she just kept going on about biology, and I was like, "I'm not an astrophysicist, but I know what space is."
Yeah. I understand that gravity applies to optics. It doesn't take an expert.
It's just so mad, the whole, like, every last the collective silence of people who know that Leah Thomas is a man. And I don't know if I blame them, like, it's the NCAA that really do. I mean, maybe we should find who the officials are here and do it with them.
Yeah, I wish we could.
They must be here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's her, who I was talking to.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And now you can see us.
I see. That little peach buzz. Yeah. Little peach buzz in there. Little peach buzz in the beard. And it is super gorgeous. So thank you.
Such a bad day.
women in America overall, every once in a while you'll see a famous soccer woman be a kicker because it's open. It's already an open category for people of all, quote unquote identities or genders or whatever you want to call them. The men's category is already an open category.
Right.
So, yeah, please. Yeah. Yeah. I know. We got a great turnout. All right. So, Kelly J is streaming on her Instagram right now. So anyone who wants to follow along with her on her Instagram can check into her channel. That is a great comment. I love that. I am not a vet, but I know what a friggin' dog is. That's the whole thing. This gaslighting around this issue is really insane. We all know what biological sex is. We can all recognize a man when we see a man. We recognize a woman when we see a woman. We know what it is, and it doesn't take an expert. All it takes is eyes in your head. Thanks, Heather, for being here. I really appreciate it. Jen, maybe another time you can come and be with us. Let me see. I'm not sure who is interviewing Beth. His mic says alive. So I don't know what media outlet that is, but I see it saying alive right now. I'm just gonna keep this live stream up until you guys go live. You're going live at 12:15.
Yeah, I guess. No, I mean like I can.
Oh, like your own set, your own thing. You need that bottom. It's not just going to be one. Right. You want me to man that for you?
This one's the slip, so I'm going to kind of do it with this.
Okay. Yep.
And then yeah, great. I'm afraid this is going to go
Making sure it's turned on. Yep, sorry.
Excuse me, sir. No smoking allowed on campus. Sorry.
All right, friends. So we're setting up. Beth is setting up right now on her channel. She's been inside. Thank you, everyone.
so
for
depressing,
being here.
but we're here.
Yeah. Beth, do you want to tell everyone? So I asked Kelly J about this, but Leah just won his 500.
We won the heat. Yep, in the preliminaries. There was girls and moms crying left and right. We embraced, we cried. What more can we do? We're here for them to give them a voice, and they are so grateful that we are here. So we'll start that press conference soon.
Yeah, we're going to start that soon. Thank you. Thanks, Beth. We're going to start that press conference soon. Thank you all for being with us. When the press conference does start, I'll step out of the way. It's going to be on Beth's YouTube channel. So the YouTube channel is Save Women's Sports. And if you can figure it out, go there. If you cannot figure it out, I am going to continue to live stream from here. So you're not going to miss it. It's going to be live streamed in multiple different places. So no one is going to miss it. You can absolutely just keep watching right here, or you can go to Beth's YouTube channel and see it live streamed from there. So there's going to be a lot of coverage. We're going to get this from a lot of different angles. No one is going to miss out on this. Thank you, everyone, for being there. Alive Media. Beth did not hire any media. She did send out a number of press releases just to let press know that we would be here today. So there is a lot of coverage that we're getting right now. A number of different people in our group are getting interviews, so that's really great to see.
When you have to do this, that's consistency. For sure.
All right, friends. Thanks, Doug. Thanks, Lux. If I don't know if any of the swimmers will want to talk to us today. Maybe they'll talk to us tomorrow. Beth's YouTube channel is under Save Women's Sports. So if you go to YouTube and you just type in Save Women's Sports, you should be able to find it. But as I said, her camera's, I'm going to cover it here as well. So wherever if you're watching from somewhere right now, you can stay tuned in here, or, it would help Beth if you are able to make it to her channel, for her to get the views on her channel. That would be great. Yep, that's where it is. So Save Women's Sports YouTube channel. Does someone want to put up a link so people can see it? I don't know if that is useful, but I think you just can go to YouTube and find the Save Women's Sports YouTube channel. So I think that's all you need, really. This is going to be starting soon, I think. All right, so Beth's getting people lined up. We're going to start this pretty soon. Yeah, okay, thanks. Thanks, Brandis. Appreciate it. Yeah, you guys can head over there to watch it. She's going to go live from there. I'll be covering from right here. There's going to be a bunch of coverage on this, so we thank you guys for tuning in.
Understand that, sir. We are moving. I'm asking a question because I'm trying to understand what I'm allowed to do here, Robert. Am I allowed to create here? Why am I not allowed to be over there? That's not fair. You let them over there. I'm filming that interview. Why are they still allowed over there? Excuse me. I'm filming that interview. Who are you working for? Are you with the campus security, sir? Are you with the campus security?
All right.
Sir, where can I understand the rules?
You guys questions? Yeah.
Friends, I'm gonna. Yeah, there's a waiting room at the event. Yeah. Friends, I'm just gonna go grab some water. I'm very thirsty. I'm gonna leave you watching this for just a minute. I'm gonna be right back.
Yes, sir.
We're going live. Going live.
Okay. All right. Beth is going live. I didn't get to get my water. We'll just stand watching from right here.
Everybody ready?
Cute.
I think he meant have a great day.
You amazing feminist women standing up.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us here in person and to everyone tuning in on our live streams. We are here in Atlanta at the NCAA Division I Women's Swimming Championship to celebrate 3 years of Save Women's Sports, and also to celebrate the young women swimming in that pool who are being robbed of their opportunities and titles while being forced to share their locker room and pool with a male body. They have been bullied into silence, and today we speak for them, hoping tomorrow they are brave enough to find their voice. I am fortunate to have an amazing team from an array of backgrounds across the world here to talk to you today about the alarming dangers of allowing males to compete in female sports. First, I'd like to introduce to you a woman who has been at the forefront of this fight since sponsoring the first law to protect female athletes, Idaho's HB 500. I had the privilege of testifying with her many times and the honor of going into battle testifying. She's a powerhouse in the Capitol and a beast on the basketball court, former NCAA coach and current representative of Idaho. Please welcome Barbara Ehart.
Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate being here. People, if you're here to stand up and support our women, let's hear it. Let me hear it. This is important. I was born in the 60s, grew up in the 70s at a time where people had asked me when I was little what I wanted to do when I grew up. And all I told them is I wanted to play sports. And I was literally told that's not what girls do. You see, Title IX changed my life. And here we are on the 50th anniversary of Title IX. And what are we doing? We are celebrating non-binary and transgender athletes. It makes no sense. Why is the NCAA not standing up for women? It's the 50th anniversary. When I was coaching at UC Santa Barbara, Nike put out a groundbreaking commercial in 1995 about the benefits of girls when they play sports. It was called If You Let Me Play Sports, because they were 60% less likely to get pregnant, less likely to get cancer, and more likely to leave a man that beats them. And now they've turned on the girls and women too. What are we doing? The other side likes to say this is about the humanity, the community, and the inclusion. It's not. When it comes to sports, it's about competition. It is about winning. If it wasn't about the competition, if it wasn't about winning, then players wouldn't get cut and coaches wouldn't get fired. We wouldn't have NCAA championships if it's not about winning. And let me just tell you a little secret that's known within the collegiate community of coaching. If June Eastwood, who competed in Montana, and Leah Thomas, who's competing now at Penn, had decided to do this their freshman year, I promise you, every team in their conference, in order to compete, because it is about winning, it's about the coaches keeping their jobs, every team in the conference would have been forced to go out and recruit biological males that could compete against June and Leah. I promise you, it is going to change the face of women's sports. It must be stopped now, and I call on the NCAA to turn their attention back to women and to stand up for our girls and women. And all of you here today, we have a lot of stories. Beth, it has been a pleasure working with her as she stood on her own to bring this to national attention with Alliance Defending Freedom and our girls out of Connecticut and every other group that has decided to stand up. I stand before you now saying that if we don't stop this and put an end to this, you will no longer have girls and women's sports. You may not even have co-ed very longer. And I'm going to tell you one other thing before I give the time back, because there's so many false narratives, and let's put an end to it. They like to say, hey, there's not a difference until we reach puberty, and that's why we need these puberty blockers. People, I'm telling you, I've done camps, I've done clinics, I've done leagues. I'll get little kindergarten, all teen boys and little kindergarten, all teen girls, and they compete against each other. And those little boys annihilate the girls. They don't know what to do when they're on that basketball court. The boys knock them over. They take the ball. They push them down. The girls can't even go as quick as the boys are going, and they cry. There are differences between us as men and women, boys and girls, and you know what? We should celebrate it. It's okay that we're different. The Lord made us that way. I appreciate you all showing up. Beth, keep up the good fight. And people, let's keep fairness in women's sports and save women's sports. Thank you so much. Thank you.
That was great. Thank you, Barbara.
Whew.
Beth Stelzer, founder of Save Women's Sports, BETHSTELZER. It is an absolute pleasure today to introduce you to my next guest. She is one of the first women to speak out against the erasure of women. She is the founder of Standing for Women and the originator of Woman, Adult, Human, Female. She came all the way from the UK to help inspire us. You might know her as Posey Parker. It's my honor to present to you Miss Kelly J. Keene.
I think everyone's going to be a giant, so I'll just lower the mic. Hi, I've come to support Beth, who's had an incredible journey, a stratospheric rise into the consciousness of American women in particular. You may see by my size and stature, I'm not a sportswoman. But what this represents here today, the man, Will Thomas, who is a biological male, he is a man, we are allowed to say that still. Him being here, as far as I'm concerned, is great for what I am trying to do, which is to illustrate that men cannot be women, and that when men do impersonate us, they come with no good intention. They come to take our spaces, they come to eradicate our bodies, they come to take over every tiny little morsel of this world that we have carved out for ourselves. It is okay to say that Will Thomas is a man.
Yep.
It is okay to say that transitioning children is abuse.
Yes.
Because whilst this goes on here, whilst we talk about puberty as if it's some minor incidental that we go through, there are children right across this country. There are 12 and 13-year-old girls having their breasts sliced off. This simply is a way to get that message out.
Yep.
Now, I know that girls are losing their space to sport, but children are literally losing their bodies, their sexual function and their fertility at the behest of this insane, pernicious ideology that makes no sense at all. There are young women across the street who are supporting this because they've forgotten, they've never even been taught that it's okay to say no.
Yeah.
We have to re-educate our children. We have to get activists out of schools.
Yep.
We have to make people like the NCAA take responsibility for the girls' futures that they are ruining.
Yep.
These are the people, Will Thomas, men like Will Thomas have always come along to try and occupy women's spaces and bodies and rights. It used to be that the state and sensible grown-ups would say no.
Yep.
Well, now it's time that we say no, and we mean no. And thank you very much, Beth. You're doing such an incredible job.
Woo!
Thank you, Posey.
Gotta love her. All right. Our next guest, a female athlete. I had the privilege of testifying with in South Carolina last year. She is a shining example of how what sports can provide for young women. Everyone, Macy Petty.
Well, I know that some people think that saying save women's sports is an exaggeration, as if women's sports are not truly at risk. Well, as a college volleyball player who has had first-hand experiences, let me be very clear. This is not an exaggeration. Women's sports are at risk of disappearing. Good morning. My name is Macy Petty, and I'm here representing Young Women for America, the high school and collegiate arm of Concerned Women for America, which is the nation's largest public policy women's organization. I also happen to be an NCAA scholarshiped volleyball player.
Woo!
In elementary school, I've played volleyball, and I absolutely love it. But it's not always been sunshine and butterflies. I remember in elementary school, I would stand outside for hours trying to learn how to overhand serve. But college has had its own hurdles. I've had to endure conditioning tests, weight and speed training and doing everything that I possibly can to increase my vertical another inch. This means sprints, lifting, and even changing my diet to make sure I'm fueling my body correctly. I'm motivated because I know that other girls in my conference are doing the exact same thing. It's a race to excellence, and every single advantage counts. I'll never forget the day I walked into my first club tryouts and the net felt impossibly high. I tried blocking and I could barely even get my fingertips above the net. I quickly realized this was a boys' net. In the rules of volleyball, the boys' net is 7 inches higher than that of a women's net. This height difference has nothing to do with personality, sexuality, identity, or anything other than biological facts. These 7 inches were there for a reason, and that's because men are born naturally more athletic, and their sports reflect this. If you've ever played volleyball, you know how significant a 1 inch decrease in net height can be. It's an absolute game changer. Suddenly, average volleyball players can hit like All-Americans. Now imagine a male volleyball athlete playing on a net 7 inches shorter. Suddenly, all of that work increasing my vertical doesn't matter anymore. Unfortunately, this is the reality for female athletes competing against men. Biological males are playing on nets 7 inches shorter than men's nets and bringing their biological advantages with them. I have played my sport against biological men and watched them use their biological advantages to take scholarships and championships from females who have worked so hard. This is not a hypothetical situation. This is happening in many women's sports. It's happening right behind me in the NCAA Division I Women's Swimming and Diving Championships.
Yeah, boo.
My fellow female athletes, we must use our voices to protect the future of girls' sports. If we do not, our daughters and future generations will never know the life-changing and empowering opportunities that come from girls' sports.
Yep.
If feelings are allowed to dictate which team an individual plays on, that protection that women fought for will ultimately dissolve. That fight that has given you and me so many opportunities to learn and grow through sports will suddenly mean nothing anymore. And girls' sports will, in fact, disappear. We must protect women's sports.
Yeah.
Yeah! Woo! Thank you, Macy. That was awesome. Our next speaker is a former national and Olympic team coach who has been supporting women in the fight for their rights for years now. I had the pleasure of testifying with him several times in his great state of Texas, ultimately creating a law. Welcome to the podium, Robert Fawcett.
Woo!
So I just wanted to clear that I am a former national team and Olympic coach. Throughout my career, I coached both. So throughout my career, I coached both males and females, but the vast majority and my most successful athletes have all been females, some of whom are world champions or Olympic medalists. In addition to my more than 30 years in sport, I'm also the father of 3 children. I have 2 daughters and 1 son. And I can tell you without any reservations whatsoever, based on my experiences as an athlete, as a coach, and as a parent, there are absolute biological differences between males and females with regards to performance. The males are faster, stronger, have more explosive power, and have a greater cardiovascular capacity, which allows them to train at a higher intensity for a longer period of time. These performance differences are self-evident in the drills performed between exact same age males and females. This advantage is evident at birth, and it's cemented during puberty.
Yep.
This is fact.
Yep.
It is not controversial. It is not transphobic to defend reality.
Yep. That's right.
My message to the IOC, the NCAA, and any organization perpetuating the absurdity of allowing males to compete in the female category, shame on you.
Yeah.
You know the truth,
Yep.
but are acting like cowards.
Yep.
Stop this madness and protect female athletes.
Yeah.
To my girl dads, where are you at?
Yep.
Speak up.
Yep.
Protect your daughters. Don't put them in this situation of having to deal with this nonsense. And finally, to my female athletes, I'm sorry. Your sport organizations have failed to protect you, but you can fight back.
Yep.
You can refuse to compete and participate in this farce. We have your back.
Yeah.
They can't cancel all of you.
Yep. Right.
And if your coaches won't stand with you, I'll stand with you.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah. Woo!
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. My next guest is a representative from Young Women for America. She was forced to compete against a boy in girls tennis and has been a defender of women's sports since. Young Women for America is a branch of Concerned Women for America, and I am extremely excited to tell you this morning we got breaking news. Concerned Women for America has filed a formal complaint with the U.S. Department of Education Office for Civil Rights against the University of Pennsylvania. The complaint was filed in light of UPenn's violations of the protection for women on the basis of sex, something we thought we secured about 50 years ago and Biden erased. So please, everyone, welcome to the stage, Chloe Satterfield.
Pretty short afternoon tonight. Good afternoon, y'all. My name is Chloe Satterfield, and I am an undergraduate student here at the Georgia Institute of Technology. As mentioned, I'm also an ambassador for Young Women of America. I am also a biological female and was a 4-year high school varsity tennis player. And I can personally attest to the physical advantages that men have over women when it comes to sports. My senior year of high school, I competed against a freshman male who identified as a female. And even though I had gone through years and years of expensive coaching and performance training, I lost. Not because this athlete had trained longer or had a better strategy, but because of his inherent biological speed, strength, and stamina. The playing field, or court in this case, was uneven and I was the clear loser. Whereas this high school loss is not something that I've held on to for very long, I doubt that the collegiate and professional female athletes that are being forced by the NCAA to compete against biological males can say the same. The men who have chosen to compete against women have clear and unfair advantages over their competitors. Male athletes have more overall muscle mass, less body fat, longer and larger bones, and higher oxygen carrying capacity. Men also have a greater aerobic advantage due to their higher number of red blood cells and have an advantage in throwing, kicking, and hitting due to their more flexible and less fragile ligaments. Male athletes have consistently shown to be 10% faster in running and swimming due to their higher muscle mass to body weight ratio, which allows for greater speed and acceleration than women. Therefore, I think you can clearly see why Leah Thomas competing as a woman in the NCAA swimming championships is an issue. Leah, along with all other biological male athletes, have a consistent genetic advantage over biological females. As Ms. Beth mentioned, today, Concerned Women for America is submitting an official Title IX complaint with the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Civil Rights against the University of Pennsylvania's callous disregard for its female students' concerns. It represents the concerns of millions of young women just like me, whose rights are being trampled in clear violation of federal law. Women have come so far in the past 100 years, and Title IX was a significant turning point for women with increased athletic, scholastic, and financial opportunities for women. Therefore, it is so difficult for me to understand why the same people who are crying out in the name of women's equality are trying to drag us 50 years backwards by allowing men to come and participate in our athletic competitions. Common sense tells us that female sports should be for girls only. As someone who has been a Georgia Tech fan my entire life, and I also live not far from here, it is so disappointing to see my school enabling the NCAA to enforce its dangerous policy. The future of women's sports is at stake, and I urge the NCAA to rethink its decision, consider the irreversible harm that they are inflicting on their female athletes because of this policy, and save women's sports.
Chloe, you are brave and courageous. Up next, we have a woman who has been a pivotal figure in this battle.
Yeah.
She is a former heptathlete, world-class coach, and co-author of Unsporting, How Trans Activism and Science Denial Are Destroying Sport.
Yeah.
Most days you can find her defending reality on Twitter. My Canadian friend, Coach Linda Blade.
Woo! Coach! Yeah.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. I'm very happy to be here in Georgia. I am just so amazed. My name is Linda Blade. I have a PhD in kinesiology, and I'm now the president of track and field in the province of Alberta in Canada. I was also an NCAA All-American from the University of Maryland. So that's to say that I did benefit from Title IX, and I even benefited from the NCAA postgraduate scholarship to be able to continue my education as a scholar athlete.
Yeah.
And I feel like I owe it to all of us, to all of you, for giving me that opportunity to speak out on behalf of biology-based sport. This thing that I witnessed this morning, where a male athlete was allowed to swim in the same race as women, as female athletes, really blew my mind. It's just so unfair because we know there's a difference. All you have to do is in track and field is look at the male world records and the female world records, and clearly there's a difference. So it's just as unfair no matter how somebody identifies. And what I find completely ironic, let's call it the Quaker loop. 200 years ago, who started the women's movement? The Quaker women who believed we were all equal in the sight of God. Now, 200 years later, a person representing the Quakers, Penn, is now bringing us back to the Dark Ages, and we had to do all this fighting in between. So, you know, when we weren't even as women in this country allowed to own property, everybody knew what a woman was.
Yep.
When we weren't allowed to vote, everybody knew what a woman was.
Yep. Right.
When we weren't allowed to be in sports, in colleges, and get scholarships, everybody knew what a woman was.
Yep.
And thank goodness for Title IX. And you know what? Even at the Olympic level, when we weren't allowed to be in the marathon because everybody's so worried about us as our bodies and everything, we weren't even allowed to participate in a marathon until the Los Angeles Olympics in 1984. It took 84 years to allow women to be in the marathon. So when we weren't allowed to do that, they knew who a woman was.
Yeah.
They did know. So all of a sudden, here we are, 2022, and somehow we magically forgot what a woman is. How did that happen? Well, I would say it's just the inability to say no.
Yeah.
When a man wants something, nobody knows how to say no. And I would encourage the NCAA leadership, which has done all of us a great favor for so long, allowing women to have equal opportunities according to Title IX. You know what? Just stand up and say no. Leadership of the NCAA, just say no.
Yeah.
Okay? And save our sports.
Woo!
Save women's sports.
Woo!
Thank you very much.
Save women's sports! Women say no! Women say no! Women say no!
Thank you all. I love your passion. My next guest, a female athlete. Our next athlete is a former NCAA track runner who had the unfortunate experience of racing against a male. We've testified together online, and it was an honor for me to give that brave and courageous young woman a hug today. Please welcome to the podium, Linnea Salt.
Yeah! Woo! Woo! Yeah, Linnea!
Hi, thank you everybody. I apologize for having my phone, but just a good guidance point. But my name is Linnea Salt. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak today. My passion for running wasn't something that started until later in my life, yet I recently made the decision to extend my running career for longer than I expected because of my love for the sport. I recently exhausted my NCAA eligibility as a graduate student at Georgetown University in Washington, D.C., where I transferred after receiving my undergraduate degree from Southern Utah University in the spring of 2020. My day-to-day schedule, however, though, was a little different than that of a normal student. I would wake up on Monday mornings at 5:45 in order to get to practice, to rush to work from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., just to come home and go to classes for the remainder of my night. Although my days were long and tiring, I couldn't wait to wake up each morning and participate in the sport that I love. I sacrificed a multitude of things each day in order to focus on being the best that I could at my sport and represent myself as well as all women athletes across the country. All of this sacrifice seems so small, though, when I'm able to celebrate the successes of my training, but that was all up for debate in my last year of collegiate eligibility in the NCAA. Before starting my senior season at Southern Utah University, we received word that the first male to female transgender athlete was going to be competing for the first time in Division I athletics. But it was going to be a face that was familiar to me, as they have previously been competing in my conference on the men's team at the University of Montana. Being the defending 800-meter Big Sky Conference champion, I immediately jumped online to see what I was going to be competing against that season. All of my hope was lost when I realized that the male-to-female transgender athlete I was going to be competing against had a personal best time of 1 minute and 55 seconds in the 800-meter, 10 seconds faster than the best season time from my season prior. I took a step back and realized that my senior year was no longer going to be about the sacrifices, the hard work, the pain and dedication I had put forth the last 4 years. It was going to be about fairness in women's sports being stripped away right in front of me. An athlete that had previously competed on the men's team was now going to be racing against me and all of my teammates. An athlete that had a personal best time of 3 minutes and 50 seconds in the 1500 meter, which might I add was a world record time for women, was going to be on the starting line standing next to me. An athlete that was born a male and competed as a male at the NCAA level was going to be racing for a spot on the first place podium that I had been working tirelessly for. Being able to travel all around the country and not only represent my university, but to represent myself is a phenomenal feeling. Running against amongst some of the best female runners, not only in college, but in the world, was the craziest experience to me. As insane as it may seem, the pain, the shortness of breath, and all of the lack of energy I had after practice all seemed well worth it when I got to go onto the track and win. Track is something I worked really hard to be good at and sacrificed so much sometimes just to get a half of a second faster. Knowing that this is a feeling that many women may no longer be able to experience is a horrible thought. Men are able to celebrate fairness in their sports, so it should only make sense that we can as well. It is discouraging for girls and women everywhere to think that they may have to compete against an individual that has a biological advantage over them. Taking away our opportunities will run us out of the sports world, which we have already had to fight so hard to be a part of. Knowing that no matter how much time, energy, and effort women put into their sport, they may no longer be able to experience the feeling of being first place is devastating. Although there are women that are taller, that are stronger, and than that of an average athlete, they do not possess the physiological advantage that a male to female transgender athlete does. It is a biological fact that men have proportionately more muscle mass, more bone mass, and a lower percentage of body fat than women. Because of this, it affects the way that they run, lift, train, and compete in any sport. This is a bipartisan issue that boils down to biology. This is why women should be allowed to compete against other women and not forced to compete against men. What I experienced was unfair, and no woman should have to stand on the line, walk onto the court, or enter a stadium and feel as if they have already lost the competition before it even begun. Women deserve a fair chance, and although there is a place for everyone in this world, being an NCAA women's athlete is a privilege. It is not a right. We should proceed this problem to ensure that women everywhere remain excited to participate in sports and continue to allow athletics to be a part of their identity. And that is why we are here today to save women's sports.
Thank you so much, Linnea. We're going to close today with a real treat. One of our special guests today is an environmental biologist and a strong defender of reality. Ladies and gentlemen, for any of our participants. Thank you all.
You guys still here? Okay, you guys still there? All right, thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm going to tune us out. Yeah, thanks AI Flynn. I was supposed to be watching it myself, but I had to duck down. There are people behind me. Yeah, it knocked off. I knocked into my own feed. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry that we. I'm so sorry that we cut out during. Anyway, I'm gonna. Yeah, yeah, I know. It's just the thing that happened. So Beth just said to everyone, we're going to be back later today. Um, we're going to be back later. We're going to be back here tonight, and we're also going to be here tomorrow as well as Saturday. We're going to go up after the finals. Yeah, absolutely, Carol. Absolutely. Oh, that's great. That's good to hear. Thank you, everyone, again for being here. I really appreciate all the support. I'm going to tune out for now. I think we'll do a live stream later today or tomorrow. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. All right, bye-bye.